Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, hanging out in Nashville, Tennessee with my buddy and amazing musician all around on everything. But today we're going to talk a lot about slide guitar, Mike Gannon.
How's it going?
I hear all the applause in my mind. Everyone's cheering through the screen. Mike is awesome. He's a producer, guitarist. He plays in this great thing called Pitch Meeting that happens Tuesdays in Nashville. It's one of the best musical events here in town, so you got to check that out. Dude, you're an epic slide player, and I don't know if you knew this, but I have a guitar YouTube channel that's mostly lessons.
I've heard something about that.
It's lessons though, so we're gonna, it's teaching people.
Yeah.
So what I thought, it'll just make you sound better, but I'm gonna go into the open E tuning.
Cool.
And I'll just try some stuff. You don't have to teach anybody anything.
Let's do it.
So the first thing with slide tuning is, I guess you need a slide, right?
That always helps, yeah.
Okay, now obviously the Allman Brothers slide,
Yeah, the Corseidon bottle.
Corseidon bottle was like cough syrup?
Yeah, it was a cold medicine. Dwayne was he was sick and he was listening to a Taj Mahal record that had slide on it. He was taking Corseidon, emptied the bottle out, and started trying to get the sound he was hearing. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the legend.
And so does this actually come from one of those?
No, this is a replica. Dunlop makes these, which is kind of actually better than the original because it doesn't have a seam in it, so it's a little smoother.
Gotcha. And so you're a ring finger guy?
Yeah, that's kind of what
Most people are, right?
I think that's, for me, that's what felt most natural. Some guys do the pinky where they're fretting a lot behind it, and that's cool too.
Now, there isn't a lot of Dwayne Allman footage.
Yeah, honestly, I was more keyed into Greg and his voice. That was really what drew me to them in the first place, and then you end up hearing
Well, they have
the guitar
more
stuff as
like,
well. But
stuff without Dwayne at this point.
yeah, I mean, Dwayne passed when he was 24. You know, it was pretty early on in the progression of the band. He really got a lot done while he was here.
Okay, so we got to do open E tuning, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to,
Is it bad
but
for your guitar or not?
I keep mine in open E all the time, so it's just set up for that sort of tension.
All right, so just to recap open E tuning, we got E, B, E, G sharp, B, and E. So what that leaves us with is, what's this thing?
Yeah, I don't use one of those. I'm not too familiar. We have 5 picks right here.
Okay, so we're gonna put that there. I'm familiar with that. But so we get an open E major chord when you just go like that, which lends us to all kinds of cool possibilities.
Yep.
But the most basic one being the
just
one finger major
which
chord.
then you can do with the slide as well.
Which then we can do that. We're not pressing down, right? Where we want it just above.
Yeah, it's just real light floating on the
Do you
strings.
raise your action?
I don't. I actually try and keep mine as low as possible because it kind of forces you to have a light touch with the slide, which allows you to move around faster. So a lot of guys do raise their action, which makes it easier to get a clean sound. But if you keep it low, it kind of forces you to be real light with your touch.
You recommend someone to raise their action?
I wouldn't. I think if you can keep it as low as possible, that'll really train your technique so it's as light as possible because that just allows you greater agility around the fretboard if you're sort of putting only as much tension as you need on it.
I guess what I could try and do is just get a clean chord. I'll go up to the 12th fret and I'm going to just go right above the fret, right?
Yeah, it's right above it. Yeah.
Doing this kind of thing?
I mean, it depends on what. Yeah, if you're strumming a whole chord.
And then with that, you can pick any individual note, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the tricky thing when you get into single strings is you have to use your other fingers to mute the notes. So if I want to be playing a melody line on the G sharp string, for example, then right. But try and just do that with only the one string.
So I'm using. Are you using your index finger?
Either index or middle usually, or thumb.
Because you're resting your thumb on the string.
Yeah, in that case, I'm sort of muting the first 3 with my thumb.
Play something like that again. That you went.
Yeah, but just on one string though. So just on the G sharp. So.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's a different art to sliding up to the note as opposed to trailing down.
Yep.
Can you give me an example of that?
Yep. So there's a lot of different ways to get into a note or fall off it, and they all have different sort of flavors and inflections. So it's sort of a straight diatonic way is just like into it. But if you want to make it a little more bluesy or gospel-y, you could, it becomes like, and that has a different feel to it.
So I'm hearing that little buzz, you know?
Yeah,
that's just, I'm pressing too hard?
It's just little nuances you have to figure out how to get that clean.
But then, so that's all like, so you could do like a, oh, and you have the root on the D string too. Well, it's the E string now, but.
Yeah, it's great to be able to get octaves in there with that. And then this octave as well. You have those octaves built in.
So what strings are you picking with that?
So for the first one, I was doing those two. And for the high ones, it's these two here.
Oh, like that? So.
Yeah, it's just a lot of right hand technique to get it so only those two are ringing.
And it's 2 strings are muted in between?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. The minor pentatonic.
Yep.
How do you play like a D minor chord with your slide?
I do a lot of the relative major. So if the chord is, if that's a D minor, a lot of times I'll be on the F, and as long as the bass player is doing this, then that's the resulting sound. Otherwise, I might just leave the third out of it entirely, you know. But yeah, that just depends on the context of the band that you're playing in.
How about this one?
Well, that's just a power chord. So.
I have to at least be able to say I jammed with Mike Gannon on slide. Slide duel.
Exactly.
You ready?
Yeah.
Don't quit your day job, Marty. People can have a lot of fun. That was fun for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's also something I don't do. And I'd started it a little bit and then go to pitch meeting and hear you, or like go hear, you know, Derek Trucks or whatever. And then I just go back to, let's tune it back. It does help someone like me who's spent 99% of their time on standard tuning, kind of like pentatonic soloing or blues soloing. Like if you just practice slide like I did, and it doesn't sound great, but it does help you with the like.
Yeah, the single string kind of stuff. Yep.
You start to become more aware, and that's like the most slide I've played in like 3 years. I gave it up. It did help me get into some of the more just being aware of the scale steps on one string.
Yeah,
like,
it forces you to be more vocal and more melodic.
And seeing the distance. All right, I want to thank again Mike Gannon. Now you can check him out on all the socials, MP Gannon on Instagram.
Yep.
You can look up Mike Gannon on streaming. You've got your own music, plus you're producing all kinds of other great artists. And in Nashville, we've got this amazing thing that you are a founder of, Pitch Meeting.
Yep.
And so that's every Tuesday at Eastside Bowl in Nashville.
Yep.
Just look him up. Tell him I sent you. Why not? Thanks again.
Thank you, man.
All right.